Welcoming Week 2023 is here. Today, you're going to listen and watch Welcoming Week podcast series, and the goal of the series is to help newcomer and resident know about the services we have here in Grey & Bruce, help newcomer get access of the services, establish themselves, and call Grey & Bruce as their home. My name is Deepika Gupta, Manager Grey & Bruce Local Immigration Partnership, and the program is funded by Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada. Let's get into the conversation.
Hi everyone, my name is May Ip and I am the coordinator of Grey & Bruce Local Immigration Partnership. And today I'm really happy to have three special guests with me today for the Welcoming Week GB Lib podcast to talk about entrepreneurship. And so we have on my father's end, we have Courtney Miller from the Grey County Business Enterprise Center. And then we have Rose Austin from the Community Futures. And last but not least, we have Christina Tennyson from Bruce County's Business to Bruce. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So today I have 4 questions for you guys, and I'm going to just ask each question, and everybody will give me some answers, right? Okay. So the first question is, tell me something about your organization and how it helps residents who want to embark on their entrepreneurship journeys.
Perfect.
May we start with Courtney?
Want me to take that one? Okay,
Yeah.
absolutely. So at the Business Enterprise Center, we are a provincially funded organization that supports entrepreneurship, specifically within Grey County. And what that means is we help entrepreneurs typically from ideation to startup and early stage development through that process. And that can look like all kinds of things. It can look like assisting with business plans. It can helping them find connections within the community specific to the assistance they need in their entrepreneurship. It can be taking them through one of our formal programs, offering them training. We really meet the entrepreneur where they are. And we like to say we are the first stop typically for those who are exploring entrepreneurship. We're the first stop in their journey. And from there, we'll help them make the connections they need within the community.
Thank you, Courtney. And what about you, Rose?
Well, as a Community Futures, there are quite a few of us across Canada. Our catchment area, we cover almost all of Grey County, parts of Bruce County, and parts of Wellington North. So we have quite a large area. Mostly, we are here in the same aspect as Courtney. We're here to help people start their own business. It could be for expansion. It could be for diversification in any way, shape, or form. The only difference basically between us is we're federally funded, and we do have money available to lend to people for those reasons. So we can lend up to $300,000 to any one business. We can partner with other CFDCs, so therefore those funds can grow. We can partner with banks. We can partner with the BDC. There's many different partnerships. We like to do everything in a partnership so that the people that do come to our area are very, very familiar with all the other wonderful amenities that are here, as the Enterprise Center, all the ecosystems, the Bruce County Business to Bruce, and the Grey Bruce Lip. No one can do it alone. So it's very fortunate that in Grey and Bruce County, we have all these remarkable partnerships where we can all work together and we can help those people that come here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love partnership and collaboration too. Yeah. So, and Christina, what about B2B?
Absolutely. So I'm a business development coordinator with Bruce County. So we have an awesome team at Bruce County. 3 business development coordinators, our manager, and then a lot of support staff as well. So one of our big goals is supporting anyone in business, any age, any development, helping them feel more comfortable and confident to move forward. So we work very similarly to Grey County Business Enterprise Center. So really focusing on businesses in Bruce County, but once again, with that additional piece of a little bit more of that expansion type. With our program, we do offer different provincial grants. We do a lot of one-on-one helping those entrepreneurs with those maybe more tricky questions, or maybe they need a little bit more support, a wide range of training sessions, and then also really trying to be that bridge, that gap, to fill that gap and connecting with other resources like these two here. Well, all of us here. So making those connections when we need, when we're not the expert, and trying to share that information wide and cross.
It's all about coordination, networking, and collaboration, partnership, all the good things, right? So that's wonderful. So the second question, I'm going to start with you, Rose. And what programs and supports are you currently offering? So I think maybe first of all, in the broad sense for people in general, residents in general, and then maybe more specifically for newcomers. Yeah.
Right. Well, I think residents in general, I have already indicated that we are here to help you in any aspect of starting or running a business, as well as lending funds. We also provide many training opportunities, not only to our clients, but to the general public. One of the projects that we have going right now is our regional workforce collaboration project. That is in partnership with all 10 municipalities within our catchment area. And what we've done is we are looking at, we're targeting manufacturing sector currently. As everyone knows, we have labor force shortages, and we also have housing shortages, and transportation is an issue. So one of the things that came out of the Western Ontario Wardens Caucus strategic planning session was that we need to look at the unemployed, the underemployed, the people within our community that are currently not working for whatever reason. And a lot of those people could be newcomers to our area. A lot of those people could have disabilities. And quite honestly, because of COVID, a lot of those people a lot of that demographic are women that took time off to stay home with their families because of school and homeschooling and all of that, and just haven't gotten back into the workforce. So we thought, okay, how can we help these employers address this issue with those people that are already in the communities? Because they're in the communities, we don't have to deal with the housing issue. We don't have to deal with the transportation issue. They're already there. So how can we match them up with the employers? In a lot of those cases, the employers need training to learn how to deal with different attributes of their potential employees, and that could be mental disabilities, it could be addiction, it could be somebody who just came out of incarceration, it could be a newcomer, there could be language barriers, cultural differences. So we have some pilot companies that said, yes, we want to get on board and we want to learn, we want to work with you to do this. And those companies, we did interviews, they filled out assessment tools. And so now we're in the process within this project of providing those employers with that training that they have indicated that they need. And then the next step will be working with the employment service providers and all of you wonderful people as well to attract that demographic of unemployed people to the project and to determine if they need training to work within that pilot company in their area and how we can match them up. So the project has been running since October last year. We did have a couple of setbacks, but it's going full force right now, and it ends in June of 2024. So we hope by then we'll be able to come back with some success stories of how it worked. So we're hoping.
Well, looking forward to that. Yeah. So in my previous life, I did a research on precarious living. Yes, precarious living for in the Great Bruce Huron-Perth area. And one of the things we looked at is that the unemployment, like you say, exactly, you say there are people who are underemployed or unemployed because of certain barriers. So it is really exciting to hear that this project is going to really, I think, re-engage people back into the workforce. And also at the same time solve that labor shortage problem, right? So that's
Well, we hope that's what it does.
And what about Christina? So B2B currently, what kind of programs and support are you offering?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of our biggest supports, we kind of have two sections of them. So maybe break down the two pieces of them. But one of them is regular training sessions. So these can encompass things like marketing, how to start a business in Ontario, covering those types of rules, regulations, maybe different things with bookkeeping, or we actually just did one on Canva. So taking that opportunity to dive in to some of these pieces that every business owner can take advantage of. And we continue to do these year round. So going forward, and these are open to anyone, but something that we did in the spring and we're looking forward to doing again because it had such a great success was a special series called Closing the Gap. And this series was a 5-part series, and it focused on building awareness of the different opportunities, services, and resources within our community, and definitely reached further than just Bruce County, really trying to hit our larger catchment area. So in that series, we'd had sessions more still on that awareness piece though, with GB LIP, with YMCA Settlement Services, with Live by Design Immigration Services, trying to provide some of that education and that high level overview, because these are topics that are not always as well known and can sometimes be a little bit scary to dive into when you're not as familiar with that area. And these definitely still ranged for the employers who were already in business, as well as people looking to maybe grow. Once again, this was a very successful series, so we are looking at developing some more going forward. As we know, regulations, policies are continuously changing for newcomers and immigrants. So trying to provide that awareness and education as we can and as it comes up. We all know that's a large project to do, but this is why we're bringing in all these other great organizations to help with that piece. And then the second part with that is really trying to work with our existing clients who are already in business and support them with the education and those resources if they're interested in hiring newcomers or immigrants, what those grant programs look like from the government, and some of those different things that they might need to be aware of in terms of cultural integration into their business as well. So trying to have those conversations and bring that awareness, but we definitely lean on a lot of our resources in the community to try to provide that, but there's still a lot of growth to do in that area as well.
Thank you, Christina. So I just feel excited just listening to all these wonderful things happening. And so Courtney, talk about the BECs.
So similar to Christina, we do a lot of training within our programming. So we kind of take the lens that we'd like our businesses to inform the training that we offer. So that's listening to our business and our business community and seeing what their needs are. So for example, in the past, we have, in coordination with GB LIP, done some EDI training for small business owners. We've worked with Settlement Services and their clients and done some group sessions on how to start a business within Ontario. So really listening to the community and letting them inform what we offer. So that's always ongoing, in addition to our more core training around marketing and business plan development, cash flow forecasting, all that fun small business stuff. And then in addition, we have some programs that are offered through the province, some grant programs. One which is called Starter Company Plus, which we find is really beneficial to entrepreneurs who are newcomers, because it gives them 6 months of support from our center. So it really helps them build that foundation, build some connections within the small business community, because it's run as a cohort, and that ongoing support from our center, which really can be needed when you are opening a business in a new community that you're not necessarily overly familiar with, and with different regulations. So we're just kind of there to support throughout that whole process. So I find that's another program we offer that's works really well for newcomers. So always just trying to, change our offerings and update them based on what we're hearing from our community.
Is to be where they are at, right?
Exactly.
So that we know that we're really addressing their needs. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Okay, so then the next question, I'm going to start with you, Christina, is what are some challenges newcomer residents experience when starting a business? So we all know that even just for a long-time resident who's been here for a long time, starting a business is just, there's so many pieces, right? And you sometimes I heard people say, oh, well, I got that done, and now I just found out I have to do this next step, and it's almost like never ending, right? The piece. But then adding to that, newcomers, I think the work culture is very different, and what are the specific challenges that you find that they are facing in addition to all the rest?
Absolutely. Well, with me here. So these are definitely something that we're realizing in our office, that this is a challenge. This is something that we're trying to overcome. How can we provide those better services? This is a learning opportunity for a lot of us as well, of ensuring that we're providing the best service we possibly can, and also transitioning with all of the rapid change. Beneficial rapid change, but a lot of rapidness in this. So definitely with newcomers, some of those consultations that we might have when someone would come to our services, for entrepreneurship, typically they're a little bit more already established in the community, and now they're looking to start a business. So that's part of our consultation, a one-on-one consultation to walk through those individual needs at their level, at their pace, and bring in some of those pieces. So often it's starting with some of the more basics of those rules and regulations, but then they can be just as niche and specific to their very individual business, where another business maybe who's been established here might deal with something else completely different, very specific. I'm trying to think here. And then actually our team, I think, helps a lot with this, of our local knowledge in the area. Bruce County, Grey County, we are very large counties. We cover a huge geographic distance. So being able to help with that knowledge of what activities are happening in the peninsula, what resources, what businesses are already existing in the peninsula that maybe that newcomer may not have as much awareness of due to their shorter amount of time here.
Yeah. And one example I could think of, now I've never run a business, but I can think of the comparison is like, I came here from Hong Kong, and Hong Kong is like, now it's like over 7 million people in a tiny little dot on the map, right? So for people running businesses there, it's easy. It's easy. Like as soon as you open a business, almost you get full house every day, right? And because also the travel distance is so close. But here, so when say if somebody from Hong Kong come here to try and run a business, one of the things that they may feel disappointed is that, why am I not getting as many clients as I expect when I first open, right? So I think that is one thing that you can really like help them understand the different, I guess, because of the population density, and that you can help them to have a more realistic expectation, right?
Yeah. And I think that's as well with just the location between things. Your customer range, your customers are willing to drive an hour for your product if it's something that they want.
Yeah.
Where perhaps in other places in the world, or even in more larger city centers, that wouldn't be as common, where that is a more typical norm here. So understanding that and sharing that information. And when you're doing your market research, understanding that your market's going to reach further than if you live in Owen Sound and set up in Owen Sound, you're going to be further than just people who are located in Owen Sound to attract to your business.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Christina. So Courtney, do I need to repeat the question?
No, it's okay.
No?
I think,
good.
I think about this one a lot when we're working with our newcomer clients, and I think there's 3 areas in which they face the greatest barriers when they are opening a business within Ontario. I think quite often language is a barrier for sure. We're really lucky to have an excellent resource with settlement services, and our newcomer clients there who have had language barriers, they've been able to have someone come with them for the consultations one-on-one with us to assist, and that has gone a really long way. Another barrier is just the licenses and regulations for running a business in Ontario. I think 100% of the newcomers I've worked with have run businesses previously in whatever country they've immigrated from, but in a very different way than they're required to run it here. So it's getting their minds around the rules and regulations, explaining that it isn't as daunting as it may feel, and we can kind of lay out that roadmap to assist them, and explaining the tax system, things like that can feel really scary. So working with them on that and assisting them with those processes. And then I think the third piece, which Rose, you can probably speak to better than me, is the financial piece. A lot of these individuals have limited Canadian financial history, which can impact their ability to access financing, especially through a traditional institution. So speaking to them about some alternatives like the CFs, like Paro, some really great organizations that they will have a better chance of accessing financing through for some of those startup costs they might be incurring. So those are the kind of 3 greatest barriers, but we're always working on how to handle those with them and best tackle them.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Courtney. And Rose?
I totally agree with everything that the two of you have said. Language is absolutely number one. I find as well when we have newcomers come to our office, they get very lonely. So they don't have a really good support system within the community, and depending on the ethnicity of the person, there could be a small group of people in that community, but there may not be. And the same with just the cultural differences. Going into the grocery store, totally different. What's this? What's that? Why can't I find this? Right? So there are those types of small things that everybody can work together to improve. But absolutely, when it comes to financing, that can cause some issues. But as you say, most of the people that are coming here to purchase a business are very sophisticated in that way. And they usually are bringing financial means with them. We also have a partnership with a group called Succession Matching, which is an organization out west, which they have a library, so to speak, of people, foreigners, that are looking to purchase a business within Canada. We then, anyone within our catchment area, if they're considering selling their business, can come to us, and for free of charge, we will set them up with this organization. There's no commission, there's no cost, there's nothing. Real estate can use it. It's not taking anything away from them. So that we have that program available. Another program that we just started, and because it's so new, I am going to have to look at my notes. We haven't launched it as of yet. I have talked about it with other organizations, informing them we're going to be doing this. But as of yet, we have not launched it. And it is what we call our Newcomer Loan Fund. So it will be up to $20,000 for ages 18 to 45. There is some criteria. You will have to have lived in Canada fewer than 60 months from the application date, a Canadian citizen or permanent resident. You can use this loan to assist with obtaining housing, so first and last month's rent, a down payment on a home, so if that's what you need, or to add it to a down payment on a home. For transportation purposes, if you can prove that you need the transportation for work, so for transportation purposes, to purchase a vehicle, to purchase insurance for that vehicle. Training, so to garner training for employment opportunities, and also to establish a credit rating within Canada, right? Now, there are some banks who do that, who do very, very similar. I can't name them. But if you do go on individual bank websites, you will see that there are some banks that will offer that same type. The criteria may be a little different, but that same type of loan for newcomers. Once this is launched, we'll be sharing that with all of you, and we'll be putting it out there. But it will be coming very soon. So
Awesome. And will that be available through all CFs?
no, it's just our
yours?
product.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just our product. Now, should it prove to be beneficial,
Mhm.
I'm sure there's other CFs that would want to pick it up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
Good to know. See, this is what the partnerships are so important, so we can learn about these things. That's great.
That's wonderful. And I think all the supports with that, the money that can support them, all really is very important for, like, if somebody's coming in as a newcomer who wants to start a business and worry about, so I only have this amount of money to start my business. So if I put that all into it, how am I going to support myself while I establish the business, right? So then with that newcomer's loan, I think that really takes away some of the worry, and then they can really focus on developing their business and get them off the ground, right? So wow.
Yeah. That's
I am
great.
so excited. Okay, so this fourth final question. So can you share a couple of stories about newcomer entrepreneurs successfully establishing their businesses with your support? So I think I'm going to start. Who should I start?
I can go first. I'm happy to go.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's a client who was in yesterday who I was thinking about her because when I read that question, and then she happened to pop in yesterday to give me an update. So she is a great example. So she is a newcomer to our community, has a food-based business, really wanted to kind of grow it conservatively within the community. And wanted to make sure she was doing it right. So we've had lots of check-ins as she's been building this business to make sure, that she would run things by me and I would say, yep, you're on the right track. You're doing great. Like keep on going, kind of just being her cheerleader. But also she needed a lot of connections to help kind of build that support system that you need as an entrepreneur. So, one of the first things we tackled was she didn't have the ability to have a commercial kitchen in her home. So we found her a commercial kitchen in the community that she has now developed a really great relationship with, and she's going to be taking on more time in that kitchen come fall and winter. She was also looking for festival opportunities to be able to kind of sell her products. So we helped her make some really awesome connections for some summer festivals, one of which was last weekend that went so well for her, which is what she came in to tell me, which was so exciting. So yeah, it really is kind of each entrepreneur's journey is different, and the supports they need are going to be different. In our center, we have the ability to kind of meet them there and kind of, leverage the resources we already have and the connections we already have and share those with them. And sometimes that's with service providers, sometimes it's with other businesses and helping them kind of grow that community. But she's just one example, and she's doing really well, and I'm really excited for where her business is going to go.
It's a very good example indeed. And so I just want to ask that your support for the new entrepreneurs, is there a time limit, or is it like they just until they feel that?
Yeah, we have clients that they'll come in. We'll have I've had a couple sessions with them, and then 5 years later they'll come back because something else has come along, and they're having a new struggle or pain point, and they're like, you know what? Courtney, Lene, they're still at the center. Let me go back. I know those individuals, see if they can help. And even if it's, not us that can help, we can always tell them where they need to go. So yeah, there's absolutely no limitation. They can come and see us as often as they'd like. As long as we're able to help and they find value in our services, we're here to help them.
That's really good to know. Yeah. And Rose?
We have some success stories. I have to say, though, that most of the newcomers that come to us are already well established in their communities. And they are either starting a business where they need very little emotional support. They need very little training. What they need is cash, or they need an investment opportunity. Or their business is diversifying and growing and expanding, and they just need the extra financial contribution. So we've had quite a few of those in manufacturing, in the health field, in service industries. We've had quite a few of those. I am really hoping that I would be able to give you more success stories on a more on a smaller scale when we start this newcomer loan fund, because the ones that we do have, as I said, they're already very sophisticated business people. What I find to be more successful than actually helping them either start, grow, or expand their business is just ensuring that they stay within our community, and that they are happy within our community, and that they get to meet people and they feel welcomed in our community. And that's why I feel this welcoming week is extremely important for people, to let them know that, there's other people out there, and introduce them to other people and let them know. We have one of the communities in our area has a very strong Filipino community within their small town, and they started just inviting them all together to do like little potlucks, and so the Filipino community was doing this, but it was just the Filipino community, and they went, hey, there's something wrong with this, right? So then they started inviting all the other people from the community to it as well, and it's just grown and grown and grown, and now they do it on an annual event, and the wonderful Filipino foods.
Yeah.
Now they're teaching people how to cook it, and vice versa. Now they're learning how to cook, the old Canadian, meat and potatoes and vegetable meals, right? So that I find that very successful. And I think stories like that will definitely solidify that Gray and Bruce and the surrounding area is, a really good place to go to. You don't have to be in the GTA. And if you do have family in the GTA, that's great. It's not very far to get there, or vice versa, right? But this is a great place to start a business and raise a family. And I think everyone's doing a really good job letting people know that.
Yeah.
So.
And Rose, you raise a very, very important point, because living is not just about working, right? You need to have the satisfaction, you need to feel connected. So if you're not feeling connected, your living will be so dry, and you may not want to stay here for a long time, right? So it is the part is like supporting them with for your organization is a fund that support them, but it's also helping them make the connections. And with the Filipino network, I think it's just really heartwarming to see that immigrants are helping immigrants, trying to network and build that sense of belongingness among everybody, right? So it's just so nice. Yeah. And okay, Christina.
Absolutely. Well, I want to kind of build on what Rose has here, because with one of the businesses that come to top to mind is someone who fell in love with the community here. They fell in love with the small rural community that we have here in our region. And then being able to they actually opened up a restaurant in one of our small communities, and being able to see the connections between the community, the support that they got from the other businesses, and the support they got from customers. Happy to have them as a welcomed addition, and happy to purchase their food. So it was super fantastic to see that. And I can't speak firsthand on the story because I was not involved in the initial conversation, but the first contact was about one of our Spruce the Bruce grants. So these are grants traditionally to improve the facade of a business, signage, etc. for businesses. So they came in looking for a sign. Somebody else down the street had told them about this signage grant. So it was that opportunity for them to call us, ask about some information. They wanted some funding to install their new sign because they were opening a new business. So super exciting to see that. But then through that led to further conversations. That led to, oh, all right, well, how is this going? How is this going? And led to all of these other conversations. And they are well established and successful now. I can't take any credit for that. They are fantastic, and they have the skill to do what they're doing. But seeing that community support and being able to have those conversations with them to share that awareness of what else is happening, I think that was hugely beneficial for them. And also from my side, fantastic to see that community support of the neighbor down the road who might also own a restaurant, but happy to have them in the community.
I think I know which restaurant you're talking about, but it is I think what you talk about is that no wrong door approach, right?
Yeah.
So when they come to you, the conversation doesn't stop there about the signage, but you explore what else they need.
Absolutely.
What else you can point them to help them establish a business. So it is. I learned something new, a lot of new things today. Like there's so many resources and so much support for newcomer entrepreneurs who want to start a business here. So I think.
Can I say one thing maybe
Yes.
before we wrap up? You just reminded me of this when you were talking about that example. And I think the couple that you had in yesterday is such a perfect example. So May had a couple come in yesterday to see her. They have recently purchased a building in Owen Sound. She kindly walked them down and was like, you know what, based on some of the things you're saying, I think you should probably meet Courtney. So we sat down and they started talking. I said, you know what, based on some of the things you're saying, I think we should pull in Jacinda, who I know is going to be on the podcast next week because they were talking about workforce development. So it was just like this beautiful like moment where we all can kind of like, we're partnering and giving them the resources they needed. And then we're able to say, okay, now we know we've had these conversations. Let's create a roadmap of who you need to speak to next within our community to get this business moving and off the ground, because they are from the GTA. They don't necessarily have the connections here. May was kind of their first point of contact. And from there, that's kind of going to snowball. I know it's just a beautiful example of that, and how all these partnerships are so important and what they can do for our clients.
Yeah, I think that's what happened when we take the client-centered approach, right? So then we look at the needs of the clients, but not instead of what we can provide the client. But when you look at the need, you see beyond what we can provide, there are other things as well, right? Yeah. So those are the questions I have prepared, but I have one final question. I hope I didn't like kind of like throw you. I don't know the expression, like this kind of unexpected. I just want to ask if you have any for those newcomer who are considering starting business. What is your words of encouragement for them?
I would say know that you're not doing it alone. There are this is an incredible community, and within this community, there's lots of smaller communities that are incredible and here to support you. So know that, you absolutely are not alone, and come in and ask for some help. We're here, and that's what we get joy out of, and that's what we are here to do, is just to support those individuals. So you're not alone. Come in and see us, and we'll help however we can.
Okay, so then how will they find you?
Yeah,
Courtney?
So our center specifically, we're located at Sydenham campus in Owen Sound, beside Georgian College, and you can just walk into our center. So Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. You can also reach out to us at bec@grey.ca to set up a meeting. But our doors are always open.
And Rose?
Do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Do it. Don't be afraid. I mean, just listen to everything that's available for you. And if it's not available very close by, these people, we will find where it is and bring it to you. We will absolutely do that at any time. So don't be afraid. Just do it. Reach out. Reach out to those in your community. Don't hesitate to reach out at any time. And all the resources are there. So, and we want to help make you successful, because if you're successful, you're going to stay within our community, and it's going to make our community successful. In our office, I had a mentor years and years ago who coined the phrase regional cooperativeness. And that's what we totally believe in, is that ripple effect, right? If it's good in one community, it's going to ripple out. It's going to be beneficial for all the communities around. So if you start a business in Owen Sound, you're not just helping Owen Sound, you're helping the surrounding community. Same as if you started in Hanover or Walkerton, anywhere. You're going to be assisting a broad range of communities. Yeah. So please come and do it. Come and do it. We'll be here to help you. Absolutely.
And how will they find you?
We are located in Newstead. It's just a teeny tiny little hamlet. But you can reach us. Our I don't know if you'll be showing our phone numbers, but our website is SESBDC.ca. Always confuse it because it's Saugeen Economic Development Corporation, but the SEDC was already gone. So we had to go with SBDC.ca, and all of our contact information's on our website. Don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay, thank you, Rose. And Christina.
Absolutely. We've talked a lot about like this journey, this roadmap, and outlining those different steps. I think the big thing with anyone looking and interested, or even just thinking about the idea of a business, is taking one step at a time. Sometimes we look at all that we have to do, and it's no lie. Running a business and starting a business is not an easy task. Anyone who's in this journey has every ounce of my respect to go through this and be able to just take that first step to get started. So along that process, taking those pieces one by one, and every time you achieve that next step of registering, celebrate it. Yes. Celebrate what you have come to get to this stage and all of the stages that you've done prior. Mm-hmm. So that is, it's remarkable for someone to go through this entire process. Mm-hmm. And not everybody wants to do it or can do it. So even considering it in the first place is a huge win.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how will they find you?
Absolutely. To get in contact with anyone from my team, our website is businesstobruce.com. Our email address is info@businesstobruce.com. And we have multiple offices throughout Bruce County, Wyerton, Port Elgin, and Walkerton, and we're happy to meet you in between as well, or at place of business or coffee shop. So always happy to make those accommodations, because that conversation is very, very valuable.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. So thank you so very much, Courtney, Rose, and Christina, to be our guests today to talk about how everything we need to know, or newcomers need to know to start a business. And if you're a newcomer, or you know any newcomer who are considering starting a business, reach out to all these wonderful people here and organizations. I hope you enjoy our conversation here, and thank you for watching.